Hi everyone, welcome back to today's video. For today, I am going to be showing you how to make this absolutely adorable coffee cafe card. So absolutely stinking cute. I cannot stay away from this stamp set. I use it so much. I've used it for so many projects. I've used this in a video before and we made that cute little crate with the little tag on it, but I wanted to bring you guys a card video so that you could see how you can use this set for a greeting card for someone. And I love this sentiment that says happiness is a cup of coffee shared with a friend. I just think it's the perfect thing to send to a friend and just let them know that you're thinking about them. So I wanted to go ahead and make this video for today, showing you guys how I made this one. Before we get into the products that we're going to need for today's project, just a couple of things. So we're about a couple weeks into August, so I just wanted to remind you guys, for all of you that got your bonus days coupons last month, make sure you take a look and see what you want to use why can't I think right now? What you want to get to redeem your coupons, because you can only use them through the month of August. So we still have a little bit of time, but I just want to make sure you guys are thinking about that because you don't want that free stuff to go to waste. The second thing is, a couple days ago, I posted my holiday catalog pre-order and showed you guys a little sneak peek of some of the fun stuff that we have coming up in our new holiday catalog. If you're interested in getting a copy of that catalog, it looks just like this. If you want a copy of this, just let me know. I will send you one completely free. You don't have to pay for anything. You don't have to purchase anything. I will send this right out to you, no charge, so you can look at all of the fun and exciting things that we have coming up. So there is a link down in the description box below that'll take you to my website, littlemooncreation.com, and there is a contact form. If you just head over there, put your name, your email address, and just say, hey, I would like a copy of the catalog, I will get all of your information and send it right out to you completely free. So those are my two little updates for you guys for today. So to jump into the project, this one's actually super simple. So I love this one. I love simple projects. So the first thing is, obviously, we are using the Coffee Cafe bundle. So that includes the stamp set as well as the coffee cup framelits. Now you can buy them bundled and save 10%, which is what I usually do. But you can also purchase these separately. So either way, they're both a great deal. We are going to be using both the stamp set and the framelits in today's project. For ink, we are only going to be using Early Espresso. I love this color combination. Everyone was going crazy over Lemon Lime Twist and Basic Black, but it's just about as nice with Early Espresso. So that's the ink pad we're going to be using for today. Whoops. We're also going to be using this ribbon, which is our finely woven ribbon in Lemon Lime Twist. Love that stuff. And then for our paper, we are going to be using a piece of Designer Series paper. This is from the, what is it called? It's all in the same suite. Shoot, why can't I think of the name? I'll put it on the screen, or it'll be linked in the products in the coordinating blog post below, so make sure you go check that out. But this piece is cut at, what did I cut this at? 4 inches by 5 1/4. I love this print. I think it's absolutely adorable, and it's so versatile because it's very neutral. You could use this with a lot of different things. So we have that one. I also just have a couple scraps of Whisper White here because we're going to cut out our little coffee cup. So just a couple of scraps here. And then I have this piece of Early Espresso, which is cut at 3 inches by 3 3/4. And then our standard size card base in Lemon Lime Twist, which is cut at 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do is to stamp all of our images, because this is really the hardest part of this card, which, I mean, it tells you how easy this card is if this is the hardest part. But watch me mess it up now that I just said that. I'm probably gonna jinx myself. So we're going to take our Early Espresso ink, and the first thing I'm gonna do is the little coffee lid stamp. I'm just going to ink that up in our ink pad in our Early Espresso. And I'm just going to stamp that down right here onto my little scrap piece of Whisper White. And I even thought, I don't know if that's gonna stamp very well. So I have a little spot right there. It's not that big of a deal. I just wanna make sure. I think I have a hair on my stamp. So sometimes if you get like some squiggly marks or something, that could mean that there is a little hair or some kind of debris on your stamp. For me, that happens a lot because I leave my stamps laying out on the blocks and just dust or whatever gets on it. So I just use my little poker and get rid of everything. Okay, so let's try this again. Whoops, and it flipped over. Okay, that one's much better. Perfect. And this again is just a regular mouse pad. You don't need anything fancy schmancy to go on your desk. We do sell our Pierce mat, which I would recommend, but I just have a mouse pad laying around, so that's what I end up using. So now I'm going to take this stamp that says happiness is a cup of coffee shared with a friend, and we're just going to ink this bad boy up and stamp it down. You might see my head here because I want to make sure that this gets nice and inked up straight on our piece of paper. This is a really great project for scraps. Like I just pulled this scrap of Whisper White out of my little container, and I just kind of lined it up to make sure that the stamps would fit, and I think we should be good. I hope so, at least. And now I'm just going to take the outline stamp of the little cup and ink that up. Now this I am probably going to try not to get my head in, but I want to make sure it's as even as possible at least. And ta-da! That's a little crooked. I should have done it a little more to the right, but good enough. It's not that bad. Okay, so now what we're going to do, nope, not our stamp set. I meant to grab my framelits, and we're going to grab our 2 framelits. So we need the large cup and then the little lid. Set those off to the side. Let's grab my washi tape so that we can get these nice and lined up to cut out. I got quiet because I was concentrating. Okay, so I just put my little piece over just like that, and then I'm going to do the same for the little lid. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm going to line it up as best as I can. So I'm going to move my mouse pad out of the way. Bring in my big shot. Put these little pieces on here like so. Whoops, I moved that one, so let's move it back and stick her down. And then we can start cranking this through. I'm telling you, this is the hardest part of this card, so it's a pretty simple card to do. You could probably make a lot of these really quick too. Just stamp a bunch and then cut them all out, and you have your designer series paper and everything ready to go. Okay, and there's our little coffee cup. Super, super, super cute. So what I'm going to do next is flip over my little lid, and I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive. My husband's calling. He can wait. So I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back, and then I'm just going to line it up with where I think it looks good, where it should go on the actual coffee cup. So I do have a bunch of adhesive on the back. It's not that big of a deal because we're going to be putting this on our card, so I'm not too worried about it. If you wanted to be super precise, you could. I just feel like it's super easy to do it that way, and it works pretty well. So now I'm going to grab my piece of designer series paper and our piece of early espresso, and I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back of the early espresso, and I'm going to center this left to right, and then about a ½ inch from the top is where we'll put this. Actually, I'm going to move it up a little bit more, so probably about ¼ inch from the top, because we need to save some room for our ribbon at the bottom. Perfect. Next, I'm going to, speaking of ribbon, I'm going to go ahead and get a couple pieces of tape ready so that we can do our ribbon. So what I'm going to do is put piece of tape on one side. Let me grab some scissors. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, see how big of a piece I want. That looks good to me. We will need this again in just a second, but for right now, that's good. And then I'm gonna put some tape on the other side of the ribbon, just like so. And this is how I like to do my ribbons. You don't have to do it this way, but this is just what I like to do and what I find the easiest. So then I'm just gonna kind of lay it down where I want it to go, flip it over, and then I have my tape all ready to go so that I can just stick it down. And sometimes I make the pieces of tape too long, but I'm just gonna flip it over, kind of manipulate it, make sure it looks the way I want it to, and then I'm just gonna trim this. Just like a lot. Okay. So now I'm actually going to assemble this onto my card base, and the reason I'm doing it this way is because we're going to be adding a little tie on the ribbon, and then we're going to pop up our coffee cup on dimensionals. So I just find that it's easier to apply adhesive when the piece is relatively flat. I mean, we do have our ribbon here, but it's relatively flat. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let me grab my bone folder and fold our card base in half, just like so. Put this bad boy on here. Ta-da! Okay, now it's time to finish assembling the card. So I'm going to take my little coffee cup, flip it over, and like I said, I'm going to use some dimensionals because why not? One and then one right in the middle. Backing off of all of these. And then I'm gonna put this, you could do it straight up and down. I'm gonna do this a little off center or a little cockeyed, whatever you wanna call it, just because I think it adds a little bit of fun and play. And then we're just going to take our ribbon again, and I'm gonna keep it just attached to the spool just because that's what I'm gonna do, so I don't cut off too much or too little and end up wasting it. And all I'm gonna do is just tie a simple square knot. I'm not doing anything fancy, so I'm just tying my little knot there, and then I'm gonna trim my ribbon where I want it to end. This side I think is a little long, so I'm gonna trim that. And that's our card for today, guys. So I really hope you enjoyed this one. I think this is absolutely adorable, so stinking cute, so simple to do. I fixed my little tie there. I just love this card. I think it's adorable. It's really easy to do, and you could give this to tons of different people. Anybody you just want to say hey to, if you want to go and like schedule a girls' coffee breakfast or something like that. I think this one would be super cute to send out like, hey, I'd love to do this or something like that. So I really hope you guys enjoy this one. As always, all of the products will be listed below, as well as my little ramble about the project and all of that fun stuff. And again, if you want a holiday catalog, make sure you send me a message. You can send me an email as well if you're having a hard time navigating to the contact form on my website. But I'm happy to send a catalog out to anybody who's interested. There's no cost to you. I just would need your address so I can get it sent out to you. So I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!